Hi everyone, Happy New Year. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. This is Emily at the Coloring Oasis. I'm so glad you're here. I have some goodies to show you, some magical unicorn coloring book and beautiful illustrated hardback collector books that go with the coloring book or that you can buy separately. So first I want to talk to you about coloring goals. I'm going to tell you my coloring goals for 2023 and talk to you about why it's important to set coloring goals. So a little backstory: when I started my coloring journey in 2017, I stuck with, the same few markers and pencils, which I did pencils at first and they looked terrible, my pages. So for about 2 years, I didn't use pencils again. But between about 2017 and somewhere mid-2020 during the pandemic, I probably had the same 12 coloring books I went back and forth between. I was using the same markers, mediums, and it occurred to me that all my pictures look the same. So I realized that I hadn't grown or learned anything different, and I was coloring strictly for fun, pleasure, enjoyment, stress relief, escapism, and I didn't really care about the quality of my pictures. And one day I just came across a tutorial book and decided to pick it up. And from then on, I'd say mid-pandemic all the way until 2020, the end of 2022, I was in strictly learning mode. And if I look at my work now compared to my work between the 4 years of 2017 and 2020, it is astounding. So I realized that I never had any coloring goals. I was just coloring for fun, but all my pictures looked the same and it became boring and I had the same mediums. And so I decided to set out on a learning journey to teach myself adult coloring. So I did everything between taking some classes, picking up tutorial books, doing color alongs. I invested a lot of money, several $1,000s on new coloring mediums and books, and spent the last 2 years entirely teaching myself the art of adult coloring, which is in the quality you see in the pages I show you now and what I colored in the previous month videos and in the tutorials that I'm showing you. So the reason it's important to do coloring goals is because if you don't set coloring goals, you will color at the same level you are now in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 years. And I definitely can tell you that for a fact. So, and I can also tell you that once you've adapted and taken on more skills and learned new mediums and done harder types of pictures and branched out there, you will not only love and enjoy the hobby more, you will create work that is much more mind-blowing, and it's a lot more satisfying and fulfilling when you do high quality art. So I decided to set coloring goals for 2023. I have 2 pages, and I went through and put on everything that I thought would challenge me, that I have been avoiding, that would teach me something new, that would use the mediums I don't have, everything from buying certain books to coloring certain pictures to using all the mediums I have that I've never used when I invested in, several $1,000s into art supplies. Even a lot of the ones that I show you guys, I haven't even really used yet. So, I have 2 pages here. And for me, the point is, when I get to the end of the year, all of these things I'll have done, and I will be on a whole new level than where I am now. And comparing in a year from now, what I was at to 2017 will be like night and day, like planet to planet, like solar system to solar system, like no comparison. So I think you should do the same. So some examples of what I have on here: I want to buy the Thomas Kincaid large poster Disney coloring book and do 2 pictures in there because they're very detailed and complicated, and I love Disney, and I know it's going to take a long time. So those are the ones I usually avoid. So that's all the more reason I put that on here. I want to do a large coloring spread in my Outlander coloring book. I want to do a picture in each of my Alessandra Coldevera books. I want to buy the new Alessandra Coldevera book I want to buy some Valentine's Day coloring books, swatch my colored pencils that come with the swatch charts. I've never swatched my colored pencils because I just colored by grabbing colors that I see in the tin that I like. So that's something I need to do. I'm going to color a page in a type of book I don't generally like. And I'm going to color a page that I absolutely hate. like a picture that I know I would never do, that I hate looking at. I'm going to force myself to do. I'm going to do a page a spread all in gray tones with one primary color. So like all gray tones with hot pink, or all gray tones with yellows, something like that. I want to swatch all my high quality artist markers, like my Copics, my Blicks, my Prismacolors. I've never swatched any of my markers other than my Ohuhus, which I have swatched. I'm going to do a color along. I'm going to use all of my King Art gel crayons. I've never used them or tried them, and demo them for you. And I'm going to use my Caran d'Ache Neocolors, which I've never used. I'm going to do a page or spread or two with Prismacolors in my Ink House hardback books. I want to do a very complicated spread in each of Kirby Rosanis' Fragile World and World Within Worlds. I've never touched her books because they scare me to death. Over here, my asthma is really getting me today. Over here, I have 3 pages I want to do in my Coco Wild Galaxy Queen book with all my Sparkle stuff because I love that book so much. I want to do a portrait in Black Widow pencils. I want to do a portrait in Polycolor skin tones. I want to do master and do Prismacolor skin tones. Right now, I only do skin tones in marker, and I just can't get myself to. I have to master the skin tones with pencils. Then I have a ton of portrait sets, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to color a placemat from one of my 50 States books and make it into a placemat. I'm going to do a long, slow colored pencil picture in my giant Serene book, which I've never touched because it's so gorgeous. Probably the most beautiful book I own. Going to do a page in each of my Forest Girl coloring books. I'm going to do a page in each of my giant oversized Disney Vitro glass window books. Going to do a page in my favorite Disney Nutcracker book, a 2-page spread, which is gorgeous. I think I did a flip through of that, and it has to be colored pencil because they're not single-sided pages. Do a picture in each of my Linko Feel and Inca books. Do my first buddy color with somebody. I've never done a buddy color. Don't even know if I know what a buddy color really is or how that works, but I'd love to get that checked off if anyone wants to ping me. Do a picture in each of my Eerie books and all of my Romantic Country books because I've touched none of them except for when I first started in 2017, and the few I did were terrible. So I gave those books away and I repurchased them recently. I want to do a picture in each of my Jasmine Beckett Griffith books. I want to do a picture in all my Momo Girl books. I want to do some medieval pictures like dragons, the Kings and Queens by Kurt Crook, the Briar Patch book, stuff like that. I love medieval history. I want to do a picture in all my brand new Hannah Carl Zahn books I've never colored in, like The Witch's Cottage, The Tales in the City Among the Stars, the Forest one. I've never colored in any of those. And in my original Hannah Carl Zahn books I had in 2017, there's 2 of them, and the pictures I did in there look atrocious. So I want to do a new modern skill with my new skills picture in that same book so I can compare side by side. I want to do some Disney Girl portraits for my Disney Girl flower coloring books, which I did a video of just last week. If you want to go check that out, I'll link that below. So there's more on here. Like I got a book from 70 East Books. That's a beautiful, I think it's Korean, maybe Japanese, I'm not sure, but it's all in like pastels. It has color already on the book in the background, and it's like a carnival of magical creatures and all these pastels, and you color in the non-colored parts. So I want to color my pastel book with pastel pencils, and I want to color pages entirely in all of my different macaron sets. So I have like 5 of them, so a couple pages in just one set, and so I can then compare them all, you know. And I'm going to do a lot of these on camera so you guys can see. So that's not all of it, but that's the gist. So I want you guys to do the same. You don't have to put as much as I did, but maybe like a few things you want to learn, a few new mediums you want to master, a couple books you want to pick up, maybe a class you're going to take or a tutorial. Put down some things that's going to actually grow your skills. So 1 year from now, you will be doing a whole new kind of pictures, and you can look back on how you've grown, because it really makes a difference. So I'd love to hear any coloring goals you guys set for 2023. If you want to put that in the comments below, I would be super happy to hear about that. And I'm going to do most of mine on camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. If that interests you, please subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Okay, so we are going to talk about this UK phenomenon, the Magical Unicorn Society, which includes a gorgeous 2-boxed illustrated hardback book set, and or you can buy just the pink one separately. These are the same book. I'll talk about that in a minute, even though the covers are different. And it has an absolutely amazing coloring book. So it's a whole thing from the UK. There's a website, the Magical Unicorn Society website. You can join, you become a member. It's great to do with your kids or your grandkids. There's activities on there, and you can become a member and get certain perks and stuff like that. It talks about how to become a member in these books. I love children's literature, especially, well, the novels, but especially beautiful illustrated books with a lot of artwork, because that actually inspires a lot of my coloring. So I bought these for me because I had heard about these on a different YouTube channel, and I flipped over them. The coloring book and the book set are sold separately, as is this book. So I'm going to show you the coloring book. Well, first I'm going to show you the book. So it's really all about the legends and lore of unicorns throughout history, and those who have had interactions with them can become members of this Magical Unicorn Society. And these books are like encyclopedias of unicorns and all the different colors and kinds of unicorns and what they can do. It's so much fun. This book is gorgeous. This is the official handbook. I love the art in this book. The inside is glossy and shiny. So, talks a little bit about the author. And of course, this is all fictional, but it's based on legend and lore. Talks about the Magical Unicorn Society. So we have like some poetry in here, discovering unicorns, but these books are gorgeous. There's like maps, right? Different areas of the world where certain unicorns in lore and legend come from. The myth of the unicorn, the golden and the silver unicorn. It talks like about what unicorns do and what they eat. And this book is so gorgeous. Where they live. And then in the other book, you'll see it's all about different kinds of unicorns and how they look, which is a great inspiration for the coloring book. Unicorn. Here's the gorgeous water moon unicorns. I love the ice ones and the woodland unicorns. So we switch to black background. Here's some like unicorn glossary. This is my favorite, the woodland flowers unicorn. And they sometimes will put the intro to the unicorn into a fictional story like this one. The Chateau de Temps was once a beautiful castle, home to a kind-hearted dynasty of medieval kings and queens. It stood on a French hillside surrounded by a deep forest. Its towers were tall and magnificent. Colorful banners adorned its walls, and beautiful flowers grew in the gardens. And then it goes on to tell the story about the woodland unicorns. Here's some different parts of the world and time periods where these unicorns popped up in legend and lore. These are the gorgeous desert flame unicorns. And these are my favorites, the ice wanderers. Love these. Icy wanderer unicorns live where it is cold and snowy. From the frozen plains of Siberia to the icy caps of the North and South Poles, they are perfectly suited to cold conditions, with their thick white coats providing great insulation and camouflaging them from any potential predators that might come their way, like polar bears, for example. Storm chasers. I'm going to show you the other book. This is my other favorite one, the Shadow Knights. It's a beautiful black onyx unicorn horn. They're like the most cherished of unicorns. So this is the handbook. And then in the 2-piece set, you get this, the Brief History of Unicorns. And this one, completely different. It has more like case studies of those in the Secret Unicorn Society. So here's like the myth of the golden unicorn with where it came from. and then they put it into like a fictional story, or they take the lore and legend behind the unicorn and put it into a story that is relatable with a lot of descriptive setting type detail. These are stories you can read to your kids or your grandkids. You can read them yourself. I thought they were loads of fun and really nice writing. Here we have the Water Moon Unicorn, case study. Just so pretty. Like, in every unicorn story has different color pages, these glossy, gorgeous pages. This is that black unicorn I love in the 1800s. Put into a newspaper story from the London Chronicle. More poetry. My favorite, I guess, is this one. Yeah, the Woodland Unicorns. And we have the Ice Wanderers, more stories, more poems. The Storm Chasers, beautiful. All the 7 different lands and types of unicorns meeting together in one place. And then in the back of the book, there's more like how to join the society, and there's a unicorn riddle you have to be able to solve to be able to join the society. You can get a membership, and that's all on the website too. But let me show you the coloring book. And so that's the 2-piece set. There's this book, I have to send this back. I bought this one separately. It's called the Golden Unicorn. And upon looking in them, they're exactly the same inside. And the Brief History of Unicorns comes in the 2-piece set with this one. So you don't need both. I don't know why they call this the Golden Unicorn and this the Brief History. It's really the same thing and misleading. So I think the author needs to fix that. So you can either get just this one and the coloring book, or the 2-piece set, which is like $22 with the coloring book. And now I'm going to show you the coloring book, and the hardback books are great inspiration for coloring these unicorns. So you probably don't want to use bleedable mediums because there are glimpses and facts information on the back of a lot of the pages. These are the Mountain Jewels. This is the Mountain Jewel. So the unicorn's all decked out in jewels. Water Moon Unicorns. Beautiful tropical environments, ocean environments. My favorite, the Woodland Flower Unicorn. She's brown and pretty and has pink flowers and yellow flowers, and I just love my earth tones. Kind of a Midsummer Night's Dream fairy unicorn. I love this kind of medieval French backdrop. Desert Flames and kind of some desert environments, Arabian Nights, Alibaba, Ice Wanderer Unicorns, this is my other favorite, and the Arctic. Yeah, too fast. I've not broken the spine yet in this book. So you can see sometimes there's these 2-page intro spreads, but if you do the other side, you will damage the words. These ones are from South America. Storm Chasers. Love this one. My Black Unicorn. Pretty. So this is definitely an adult coloring book. This is sold separately. I'll link all of these below to Amazon. The Magical Unicorn Society official coloring book. You can just buy this for yourself. If you want, you can buy the 2-piece set because these are loads of fun. This would be a great gift too. This 2-piece box set, which here with the coloring book for your adult daughter, granddaughter, girlfriend, anyone who loves magic and fairies and things like that. Or buy it for yourself, or you can not get the 2-book set and just get the single book, which is about $15. I mean, it really wasn't that much more to buy the 2-book set than the single book, to be honest. And keep them for yourself and use the books for inspiration for coloring the pages, which I love, and have these books on hand. I love to just like look at the art and have these books on hand to read to little ones that come to your house. I think these books, if for children, we're looking at probably, late elementary through preteen probably. I mean, I love children's literature. I love these books. So not necessarily mentally challenging, but these are the kind of books that I like to collect and keep on my bookshelves. Okay, everybody, I'm so happy to have made it into this new year. I'm getting on close to 850 subscribers. So my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by Valentine's Day. I hope you guys can help me and spread the word. And I'm going to teach you and show you everything I do throughout the year. So please share with me your coloring goals and let me know what you think of the unicorn books. And I will link everything below. And I will see you in future videos. Please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't had a chance, subscribe to my channel. Happy New Year.